Hey guys, this is NHSDO6. Oh, it's been a while. I'm almost forgetting what I'm doing here. But, so while you enjoy these wonderful hieroglyphics, I decided that I took a bit of a hiatus, and it was quite a long one. It was kind of nice, but I decided that, as promised, I'm going to get back into things, and here's a nice heaping helping of Fire Emblem for you, as many of you all have come to enjoy, and I'm glad that you have, because that's all you're going to get for now. This is Fire Emblem, well, I guess technically in the series it's the 6th one. The one that I just finished was 7, but this one is the sequel, although it was made first. It's called Fire Emblem Fuin no Tsurugi in Japanese, or in English, as I feel most of you speak, or at least know some of. It is Fire Emblem Sword of Seals. That's what I'm going to be referring to it from now on. So let's go ahead and get started here. Fresh save files. The translators of this game were, I don't remember who exactly did it, but they've done a wonderful job. And I don't know if this translation patch that I got has everything perfectly translated, but it has most of it. Chapter titles, I don't think so, and maybe a few odds and ends, but for the most part it is translated, so I think everything will work pretty smoothly. So let's go ahead and get cracking. Alright, so here's a bunch of Japanese text that I don't understand at all, so go ahead and enjoy that. Alright. Wonderful. No idea what's going on here. The vast majority of this part, unfortunately, is just going to be kind of like an intro, and it's going to lack gameplay, probably. It's just going to be a lot of me talking. Alright, here we go. The people of the continent Alib have been spreading technology and civilization for some time now. After the dragons had been defeated in the Dragon-Human Wars. It's also going to be kind of hard for me to read this because the text scrolls really slowly. Alright, so, in the west resides the Kingdom of Etruria, which has the highest level of civilization in Alib. Now, before I go on any farther, this is just kind of a fun fact that I thought was kind of weird. If you look up at the top, it says the Dark Continent Areb. It's kind of hard to see. And then it says the Kingdom of Etruria. Now, the people who translated this game didn't do that. The English and the glowing part right next to it, the Kingdom of Etruria, that was actually in the Japanese game, which I find really weird. And I think that's, I don't know if it's like novel to put English in a Japanese game, whatever the reason is. I think that's kind of strange, and I don't know. I always just laughed whenever that would be brought up in the game, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why is there English in this game? Alright, so let's get moving. The Kingdom of Bern, with a powerful military and a practical and pragmatic attitude about life, is located in the east. This is just kind of like an intro for people who hadn't played the other game, because it hadn't come out yet. These are the two strongest nations in Alib, and the lesser nations are located between them. So like I just said, this is basically, because this game was a brand new story, and while it was a sequel, the prequel hadn't been invented yet, hadn't come out, so this is just kind of introducing you to Alib. There's the Lycian Alliance, which is under joint relationship of various dukes. People of the Knights of Ilia are hard at work cultivating the snowy wastelands in the north. This is just kind of like Path of Radiance, how they did it. In Sakai live various clans which through the plains on horseback. That doesn't make any sense. Alright. Although the clashes between nation states, there was a general sense of balance of power and peace in the Alib. However, that balance was suddenly disrupted. Remember this guy? King Zephiel, ruler of the Kingdom of Bern, has sent his forces out to conquer the rest of Alib. This was the guy who was at the very end of Fire Emblem that I just finished, and he was meeting with that evil character who we'll learn all about eventually. Actually, not for a while. Bern's forces something and mercilessly massacred all those who stood against them. And now Bern has shown signs of invading the Lycia Alliance. No! Who's this strapping young fellow? A youth named Roy was in Lycia's largest territory, Ostia. We know all about that. He was sent as a transfer student to train to become the next Duke of Fiore. Elowood. However, Elowood was fallen ill. I sent for Roy to return home. He looks like crap. Whew. But Hector doesn't. Hector looks like a beast. Just around that time, Lelina, the Princess of Ostia, had traveled to Lycia to pay her respects to Eliwood. Now, Lelina and Roy were obviously the two little kids that we saw at the very end of Fire Emblem that were playing together, while Hector and Eliwood were talking. After getting something way back home, taking with him his loyal knights and boars, a knight from Ostia responsible for Lelina's safety. I apologize for skipping through this. I'm not trying to. It's just the text scrolls so strangely. The story begins when Roy had reached an area just on the outskirts of Fire. And like I said, the chapter titles aren't going to be in English, so all you're going to get is numbers and some Japanese characters which I don't understand. I don't speak Japanese. I don't speak the English.
Boss, the residents of the castle have hidden themselves inside.
Ha, even Eliwood, the greatest knight in Lycia, can't beat an illness, eh?
You were right when you said there wouldn't be many soldiers around here because you're getting ready to take on Byrne.
Of course. Who do you think I am? But you never know when reinforcements are gonna come. Alright. Kill off the guys in the castle while we still got time. Then the treasure's all ours. Castles ain't the only places with treasure. Let's go ransack the villages and get some loot.
Okay. You can't get around that.
Master Eliwood, the bandits from Bull Mountain are attacking us.
I see. Blast. If I weren't in this state, I would teach them a lesson.
Mr. Eliwood?
Lelina, you must hide somewhere. This castle is going to become a battlefield.
No, sir. I will fight too.
Don't be ridiculous. If something happened to you, I wouldn't know what to say to Hector.
To my father? But...
It's going to be alright. Roy should be almost here by now. So if we can hold our own until then, we can drive off these bandits. Merlinus, I want you to send a messenger to Roy informing him of his attack immediately.
Yes!
Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Merlinus got scared and used high voice. Maybe we'll get to some gameplay, who knows. We're about to find out. Oh, it's Lance. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? Master Roy, bandits have appeared and are attacking the castle as we speak. What? Is Lord Eliwood safe? He's inside defending against the bandits' attacks, but I don't know how long he can last with this illness.
Excuse me, Lance, is it? Is Lady Lelina safe?
Are you from Ostia? Lady Lelina's in the castle. She should be alright. As long as Lord Eliwood's with her. But he can't last forever. That's what she said. No. I shouldn't have let Lelina go to the castle before me. Lord Roy, regret won't solve anything. We must recapture the castle.
Walt is right. We must hurry.
Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's go. We're going to save those trapped in the castle. Alright, I guess we are going to get to some gameplay. At least a little bit. Probably about 5 minutes of it. Alright, so here's your characters. You have Wolt, an archer. Lance, a cavalier. Roy, your lord, obviously. Marcus, the washed-up paladin from before. Alan, another cavalier. And Boris, the knight. So here's a rundown. Roy, compared to Eliwood, not as good. And unfortunately, in this game, he promotes very, 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 very late. So he's not terribly useful. And unfortunately, the rapier, or the rapier, however you say it. I'm gonna say rapier because it sounds funnier. It's not quite as good as it was in the other Fire Emblem. Now, Merlinus obviously, or not Merlinus, but Marcus obviously sucks balls. He's horrible. Don't use him. I always do this on the first turn. I always just trade all of his crap away, and then I just kind of bring him up here to act as like a guard. Now, Lance, of the two paladins, this is kind of similar to Sain and Kent. Lance is your speed, skill guy, while you have Alan, who's going to be your strength guy. He's not quite as good as hitting, but he can hit harder, so it's kind of like a give and take. Well, he's an okay archer, but you'll get a new archer that's better than him before too long. So what I like to do is I like to open up with Alan and Lance both having the chance to attack. They're both great cavaliers, so I mean it really comes down to if you want to have two or if you just want to stick with one. I'm probably going to go with both of them throughout this run through, just because they're really, really, really good together and their supports work well. I'm actually going to try to use their supports in this game and a few others. They work quite well, so I recommend them. And then I'm going to bring Roy up here along with Wolt, and I'll try to use him to act as a little chipper away. Dang it! For the sake of this LP, I will not swear.
Reinforcements already? But they ain't getting to the castle so easy.
Alright. And this game, is, as you'll soon come to know, is a lot harder than the last Fire Emblem. And going along with that, the enemies, when it says that you, like your hit rate, let's say your hit rate is 80, it might say that, but realistically it's probably not 80. And the odds of you getting hit are a lot higher. So just keep that in mind. The game is a lot harder. The enemies are smarter. Obviously, this is one of those Japan-only release games, kind of similar to Lost Levels with Mario, where it, they didn't think the American audience could handle it. But I mean, yours truly, yeah, I got this crap on lock for realsies, no problem whatsoever. Well, we'll find out if I have a problem. I might, because I've only wow, that was a weird way to phrase that sentence. I've only beaten this game once, so we'll find out how rusty I am. Now I'm going to go ahead and take Lance's Javelin here and try to finish this guy off. Come on. Yes! Now, there are many things in this game that you're going to come to find out that are a lot different from the other game. One of which is super cool in my opinion, is the fact that the generals in this game, the promotion of a knight, the generals actually have a triangle attack kind of similar to the Pegasus Knights from the last game. I know I didn't talk much about the Pegasus Knights and I didn't actually wind up using any of them, but I think you get the point, so that's all that matters. We're not going to be able to finish this chapter in this part because of the intro, but as I keep rubbing my hands together for some reason, we will finish it up next time after... Actually, I'm going to leave Wolt there so I don't have to end my turn. Alright guys, thanks for watching the very first part of Fire Emblem Sword of Seals. I will try to update this. Can't tell you how frequently it'll be, but hopefully I can do it on a decent basis. This might be the only part you're going to see this week, and I look forward to posting more. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.